Welcome, everyone, to the Real Whovians Cast, episode 555. I'm your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I'm with Connor Farley. What's up, Connor? Okay, he's getting tea, I think. All right, and here is the return of Louie. What's up, Louie?
Guess who's back? Back again. No. Hi, guys.
All right, bro, it's time for a new empire. Okay.
It returns through the dark.
Yes. It is returning. It is returning through the dark. So.
Back, bitches.
That's right, bro. That's right, man. So, hey, you know, bro, I know you're my real friend. You know what I'm saying? And
I know who my real friends are.
And I'm glad you're back. So, what do you think of all this Doctor Who news, man?
Well, I'm glad we're not getting loads. I know it sounds quite weird, but I'm glad we're not getting loads and loads. I'm glad we're not getting spoiled, because I'm looking forward to it being a bit of a surprise.
Right.
I don't know where they're going with this whole Missy thing. I would expect her to be in it throughout the series now, whereas I don't think this is the last. I don't think it's just going to be the opening two-parter. And I definitely think this series is going to be made up of two-parters, like Sarah Jane used to be.
Right.
You get what I mean? Yeah, I definitely think we're going to be seeing the return of like the Zygons again, or monsters, the Sea Devils.
I mean, we got the movie. This may be in the movie theater, bro. Series 9 premiere, maybe in the theater.
It'll be in the theater. They're doing well with that, so it'll definitely be in there.
We have The Magician's Apprentice and The Witch's Familiar, which adds up to way over 90 minutes. Mm-hmm. So that will be in the theater. Then we have two-parter after that two-parter, which is amazing. And the finale is supposed to be a two-parter. So, so far, 3 two-parters. There may be more. What's up, Connor?
Hello.
All right. So, Louie's back, bro. What do you think?
Yeah, always happy to have people back. I
know, man. So, I can't wait to discuss some of the interesting theories that I had and we all had, about the, Time Lord Civil War and all these things we were talking about. Yeah. I had this idea that, when we find out what Gallifrey is, we're going to find out that they had a civil war where one side was Rassilon and then the other side was that guy that probably gave the Doctors regenerations, the other part of the council, I guess the War Council, that was in charge of the weapons and stuff. And I have a feeling they had a civil war, and maybe they even punished them and made them weeping angels. Who knows? I mean, this could have. Time is up and down. I mean, it's left and right. It's out of order. So we could see the birth of the weeping angels being the Time Lords themselves, like the vision of them. And
that would be pretty good.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty creepy as well.
That was my theory, wasn't it? I think that was.
So, yeah, sorry I dropped out for a second, guys. I had a phone call, but let me see if Mike D can come in, because he just called me.
Sent Mike D in a very long time.
I know. All right, so Connor, talk to Louie for a second. Let me just try to get Mike D in here.
Well, okay. Have you discussed Moffat? No. Have you discussed Moffat's comments yet?
No, why don't you do that?
I think we can do that. I think we have a similar opinion on this.
Yeah, we definitely do. I'll just get the article up, because I know it's in an article. Right, so obviously Doctor Who magazine issue 484 is out tomorrow for £4.99. And Stephen Moffat was talking about a little about the direction that he's taken the 12th Doctor in Series 9. And Moffat said, we're not bringing him back exactly the same as we left him at all. I think that was already evident at Christmas. He's left some of the burden of being the superhero of the universe behind. Also, Peter magnifies anything that is dark, so I'm pushing him. I'm writing him quite funny this year. I'm pushing him the other way. He adds, he's also got a Scottish gloom about him. If you give him a Matt Smith script, it would come out very, very differently. I think it would be great fun to do for a year. But no, that's not how we are going to play the rest of him.
That's bad news.
This is basically a robot show and a whole series.
Why would he write him as Matt Smith? That's retarded. Can't he write him as Peter Capaldi?
He can't write anything that's not Matt Smith. He's such a fucking retard.
Can't he just leave? Because, no offense, I was really looking forward to this year, because obviously last year, like, the scripts were, like, half of them were written for Matt Smith, and had to, like, change it a bit, like Robot of Sherwood and Caretaker. So I was like, okay, this year's going to be based on his Doctor. Like, if you look back, like, Series 5, Matt Smith's a bit like David Tennant. In Series 6, he's Matt Smith. Like, David Tennant's a bit like Christopher Eccleston. Like, he's his own Doctor in Series 3. So it's like, we're going to see the proper Peter Capaldi this year, like, in Series 9. And they've completely gone...
Wasn't he the one that said that you get different things with regenerations, you get a whole new man, it's a whole new... He's completely different from the 11th Doctor. But now, after making that statement last season that he's going to make him completely the opposite of the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, now he's going to make him Matt Smith? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Moffat is a knobhead. He thinks that darkness only can work for one series. If you write it correctly, you can have darkness, and you know, I'm not like saying completely negate humor on the series, but for God's sake, if you make him like Matt Smith, where he's jumping around like a retard with a fucking bow tie on and tweed, and I'm just...
I mean, it could be dark, but to me, there was too many aspects where it was way too dark, I thought. With certain
like next we'll be seeing Capaldi galloping everywhere like a fucking...
When I was watching Matt Smith, I felt embarrassed to be a Whovian, because it was a kid dying.
I want to see him go in Geronimo and shit. I mean, that's...
Series 8 was a bit more promising, like Kill Moon, Flatline. It was creepy, it was awesome. And like, the Witch is familiar, seems that they're going to be, from like, and the Magicians, it looks like they're going to make it a bit more creepy, but then I think Missy brings in the humour, so you don't really need, and like Clara and his relationship brings in the humour, so you don't need it to be humour. You could just have I think Capaldi brings in that humour / like very, he doesn't care, and he's very dark, and he's alien, and if they're just going to play on that and make it stupid, what's the point of watching?
I don't know. He writes Clara lately like the...
I don't know if you agree with me, but the funniest bits of last series was basically when Capaldi was ripping into everyone around him because he was alien and they were humans, and he was like, you know, pudding brains and shit like that.
Yeah, that was more fun, and it's like, use that and not the, ooh, bananas, like, oh, look at this banana, oh, let me tie my shoe, nice.
Yeah, it's a fucking funny shape, it's retarded, you know, shit like that.
I'm watching it back every time. I don't know if it's just this, like with Clara as well, like, the way it's written, it's like, should be like, a thing? What kind of thing? Are you making this a thing, a real thing? If any, like, repeat the word about 20 times in like a scene that's really, like, especially with Clara, like, it'll be like, Fez? I want a Fez? Oh, what Fez? That Fez, what Fez? Tell me. And it's just stupid, and he's done nearly 10 years on the show, not counting the RTD era. He needs a break, he needs to just leave.
I can say one thing that will completely throw Moffat's theory about comedy working with Capaldi right out the window. In the Forest of the Night.
I don't think that was supposed to be comedy, though. I think that was just...
It turned out to be. What an odd failure that was. I mean...
It was okay, but they didn't... I think what happened with that is they just did what they normally do, and like they come up with the title first. It's like, In the Forest of the Night. Oh, that sounds good. What would it be about? A forest grows overnight. Okay, it has potential. What's the villain going to be? The tiger and some wolves that escape from the forest. It's just, it was a really weak idea. Like, there wasn't much. It had different points.
But that's the whole point. You go from a school trip type of lighthearted, you know, kind of morbid story, and then you go into like as close to The Walking Dead as you can get on Doctor Who with Death in Heaven. It doesn't work like that. You can't go from light to dark like that.
Oh, what an asshole!
You really can't.
You need to like I think the beginning of the series did it quite well. It was like deep breath into Dalek, Robot Show. It has like that essence of darkness but with light. And then as soon as it got to around Kill the Moon, it went from caretaker, which is comedy with kids, into blowing up the moon.
Right.
And kill it with balls in a giant baby. And then it went from that to Farley and okay, with people getting like their dolls getting, and like zombies coming back from the dead.
It's like 1 minute they're hugging bunnies and they're like, in Smurf Village, and then the next minute they're like in Walking Dead world. It's like, what the hell is that?
It would be like there was a program about kids who are like happy. It's just like, oh, it's stupid. It's like if it was like I'm trying to think of a kids program. It's like if they did Sarah Jane for one episode, then going straight on to Torchwood.
No, that's like watching an episode of Sesame Street and somebody getting knifed and killed.
Sesame Street, the Holocaust, something like that. It's too far.
It's like writing William Hartnell with one-liners. Like, William Hartnell just throwing one-liners out.
That's what makes it more original, and I like that. And I do like the fact that Doctor Who, you could be having dinner with King Henry VIII, and then next minute be solar skating in Mars or something stupid like that. And I understand that's what the show's about. Like, you could be anywhere, anytime, any place, in space of time, anywhere you want to go.
Well, Series 8 will always be known as the all-over season because that just went everywhere.
It was the everything season.
It was just everywhere at once and didn't make any sense. So, I don't know, man. Especially the moon was an egg.
I like Kill the Moon. Kill the Moon was one of my favourites last year, but even I have to admit that it didn't have good variation. It just went from all that back and forth. You didn't really know where to set and the thing is, that's when Moffat openly said, even begun, Clara's going to be the main character this year. It's like,
yeah, why is he writing her like the Doctor? She sounds like a friggin' doctor.
And it's making so many people have gone off Clara, and she hardly had a good reputation to start with. And he did make her really good within the first 3 episodes. Like, she had a background, she was a stable character, but then it just went from, as soon as Danny Pink was introduced, it's like, oh, the love's there. You don't need to worry about that anymore.
Do you realize that if we had a script for Series 9, right, with the Doctor and Clara's dialogue, and they didn't put next to the words, if it was a Doctor or Clara, we probably couldn't tell the difference, because they're both talking exactly the same.
Yeah, she's getting too big for her boots.
But she's talking, so intellectual, it's, ridiculous.
I just miss the days of,
the Doctor.
I just miss Perry or Ace or Rose or Donna, where it's someone who's just with him all the time, like they full-time travel with him in the TARDIS. They don't know anything. They're on a journey. He's showing them the wonders of the universe, and they're not like, oh yeah, or maybe, and she just argues back all the time. It's just unbelievable. You don't believe the character of Clara.
I just want Missy to disintegrate Clara.
But Missy's not. For some reason, she won't, I don't think.
I think she needs to. And I think she needs to bring Moffat on set and disintegrate him as well.
There's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason why she's not killing her.
Trust me, if I was... He's definitely the worst writer I think I've ever... He used to be so good, though. I think he just needs someone to tell him, he can go this far.
Right, like Russell T. Davies was in charge of him. Yeah, you need to do this. Yeah, you need to do that.
They co-did a series. That would be probably the best series ever, but because he has so many good ideas, but Russell T. Davies knows people more. His writing, it just feels natural, whereas Moffat, it's really put on, and you just feel the light. It doesn't matter how good the actor is; you can just feel how fake the world he creates is.
Right. I'll give you an example of Russell T. Davies and Stephen Moffat. Right. Russell T. Davies has the Doctor talk to Jackie Tyler and everything, and have feelings that, oh my God, Rose is going to be leaving her mother behind, and he said you should go with your mother, right? So he has that family element, right? Then you have Stephen Moffat, who has the Doctor talking to Brian and stuff, and when Amy and Rory go trapped in the past and they die, he never visits Brian to tell him, hey, they're dead. That's like so. Like, how could you leave that out in
It's
a
so
story?
sick. And even if they didn't film that scene that they were supposed to do, surely you would have it in the next episode because that's a vital part of the.
Right, and then the other writers step in because they realize, hey, Stephen Moffat, you're looking like an a-hole for not bringing this up. So they create PS.
Apparently, Matt Gatiss sucks Moffat's dick. Not literally, but apparently they agree on everything. Like, they've never disagreed before. And it's like...
Ridiculous. Except for Ice Warriors.
What spell do you have Matt Gatiss under? I mean...
The Ice Warriors, he wanted Ice Warriors. And
if he doesn't disagree with anything you're saying, then he's just as bad as you.
But, like, have you seen, like, when Amy and Rory, like... No, he said, like, oh, the TARDIS can never come back to 1930 New York. Surely they could just stay there for a year and he could pick them up, or they could just get a train down. They could just go. They could. I don't know. They could go to. I don't know, New York. I don't know, America.
Explain this to me, right?
They could go to Washington.
If River had to go see Amy and Rory, right, to tell her to put that footnote or something in there in the book, right? Why don't you just zap her out of there with the vortex manipulator?
Because he can't. He's flawed with his. He wanted it to be like Rose, where they're trapped and they can never see him again. But yeah,
if the daughter is going back to see the mother, why don't they just go with the vortex manipulator? You can't use the excuse that they touched an angel in that part of time because if you remember, Martha Jones was touched by an angel, and the doctor too, and they just went in the TARDIS and said screw it. So
it's just
you don't see the angels hunting. You don't see the angels hunting Martha Jones like he says. Oh, if you run from the angels to Rory, they'll find you forever. They didn't went after Martha Jones. So what are you talking about?
I just never got that. I never got how River went and... She went and got the whole freaking book, published the book for them, obviously met up with them. And it's like,
take them home.
That never happened.
You know what you're going to find out? You're probably going to find out that they are home in the present time, but they're not telling the doctor to protect them, like River lying to the doctor that, Amy and Rory are back home, but she's not telling him because then if he knew and a villain would find out, they would go after Amy and Rory. I bet you Amy and Rory are back in the present time period.
That would be good.
And the doctor doesn't even know it. And we'll find that out later on.
Moffat doesn't have that ability to... Nah. It's a good idea, and it's a good way to get out of that plot hole.
Do you know how they get out of the plot hole? She writes the book, right? And then as soon as the book is published, River comes and takes her out of there. And then River has the pallbearer write on the tombstone a fake thing for Amy and Rory.
I'm most excited for Toby Whithouse's script.
That's the only script that's actually got me excited. The Magician's Apprentice and Witch's Familiar, I'm not looking forward to.
It's sounding to me, Witch's Familiar and Magician's Apprentice is sounding to me like it's some sort of fantasy Harry Potter adventure, which is a bit shit.
Yeah, it's the Gallifrey thing. It's going to be connected with that, I'm sure.
The Gallifrey thing I don't mind. I think it's time that you address the fact that the Doctor's obviously wanting to look for that, but...
Yeah, that's me as well. Surely if you've been so scarred by this big event since Eccleston, up all the way till death, and you find out that the planet's still out there, surely you're going to go find it instead of just being like, let's go see Robin or...
the odds are better. The odds are better than none that Donna Noble will return because she's connected with that face, and also she's connected with Missy because the last appearance of the Master before we regenerated. So, and plus all the references of Donna throughout history. I mean,
Gallifrey was when they tried to bring back Gallifrey as well.
Yeah. So she's connected with all that. I mean, she would have to return.
I'd love Donna to return, but
I know.
There is actually one way, and I'm going to go out for a bit of praise from Moffat here. There is one way, if he pulls this off, I'll like it. There is one way that he can write humour into Capaldi's character.
Go on.
And it actually works. He'd have to make him sarcastic. It'd have to be dry, sarcastic humour. It can't be like Matt Smith. If he writes him sarcastic and he's got a dry sense of humour, it's not gonna be as bad as I think it would if they make him where he's literally just throwing out one-liners. You know, he's making fun of his surroundings, like the shape of something or how something looks, because that's Matt Smith level humor. That's just him being giddy and, you know. There are I think we do have to kind of remember that there's different forms of humor for everyone. Like, for example, some of like the older generation are far more sarcastic and have more of a dry sense of humor than the new generation. But you know, like if he writes it like it's the older generation and he doesn't write it like he's, you know, like you said, taking the piss out of a banana, then it's fine.
Yeah.
Right. All right. On that note, you know, we're gonna probably go now, guys. But Louie, I'm very, very happy that you returned. Thanks, bro. I look to have you on many, many casts.
We'll see. We'll see. I'll make my
All
full-time return soon.
right, bro. Connor, thank you as always. Hopefully we'll be back tonight with some more podcasts. So take care. Bye for now, guys.
Bye.